Hello, and thank you for joining me for a product demonstration of the Liquid Web Managed WordPress portal. I've started here on the Google main page, so we can go ahead and start fresh, and you can get a full understanding on how our Managed WordPress portal works from start to finish. So what we're going to be doing in today's product demo for our Managed WordPress platform is that we're going to show you our new platform. I'm going to give you a quick overview of all of the menu items. Then from there, I will show you how to install a WordPress installation, what tools you have to begin the development process. From there, I'll take you through a migration of a WordPress installation into our Managed WordPress portal, and then I'll go review all of the management tools that you have available to you within that portal, okay? Well, sounds good. Why don't we get started? The first thing that you're going to want to do is navigate, of course, to liquidweb.com. Once you get to liquidweb.com, on the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the customer login button, which is this blue button here that I'm circling. Once you click on this blue button, it'll take you to the login page. Of course, you're going to put in your username and password, and from here, you'll go ahead and click login. If you only have our Managed WordPress product within your subscriptions here at Liquid Web, then you'll launch right into the Managed WordPress portal. If you have other products and services, then you'll be presented with other options before you jump into this portal. Now, once you're in the portal, the first thing that you'll notice is it doesn't look anything like cPanel or Plesk. This is not an overlay on top of that particular, on top of those particular control panels. This is a custom-built control panel for the sole purpose of managing and maintaining WordPress installations. The main work that you're going to be doing within the platform happens here in this area here where it says let's get started, and then the main menu of our Managed WordPress portal is here in the dark area here. So what I'll do is I'll review these menu items with you real quick, and then we'll jump into creating a site, and then why is it that you create a site first before you migrate and things of that nature. So let's review the menu options, and then we'll jump to creating a site. So My Sites, this is where all your sites will live once you have created a site within our portal. Stencils. Stencils are pre-configured WordPress installations that you save from WordPress installations that you have already installed within your My Sites menu, okay? So this Woo Test stencil that you see here within my Managed WordPress portal is of a WordPress site that I migrated into the portal earlier, and I made a stencil from it, so it would be here to show you what they look like. Moving on from stencils, we have users. Now users, this is obviously a place where you can add additional users. This is so you can have additional members of your development team help you with the development or creation or maintenance of your WordPress install. All you have to do to add a user is hit create user. You fill in all their user credentials, and when you hit create user, what's actually going to happen is that user is going to get a dedicated link to log into the dedicated VPS that you get with your Managed WordPress plan that you select through the portal. So just make sure that they keep that link available to them so they can have it whenever they might need it, okay? Moving on from users, you have settings. Now this is where you're going to have all of your Liquid Web account settings. So if you want to manipulate your account profile, or if you want to deal with any of the billing info or settings, even your support passphrase can be found here, okay? Now, since this is a custom-built control panel for the purpose of managing WordPress installations, what we've done is we've added a help menu directly within the platform so you can get access to the information that you need when you need it, of course, when you're working, right? So in case, anything that you might need to know from creating a staging site to migrating a site into our platform, all those different work tracks are here. If for any reason the information that you're reading here is not making sense, or is not working the way it's been detailed, then you have direct access to our support teams directly through the portal, either through these blue section here where it says can't find an answer, or you can go back to the lower left hand corner of the screen through the let us help you menu here. And just to touch base with our support teams, you have access to our support teams 24/7, 365 days a week. So whenever you're working on your WordPress installs, you can either chat with us live, right? From there, you can also send a direct support ticket into our support teams, or you can give us a direct call to our 800 number, and one of our Managed WordPress support support team members will be ready to assist you, okay? Now, the last menu item here is the iTheme Sync Pro integration. Now, this is more of a management tool, so I'll go over this particular menu item once we've installed and migrated a site into our Managed WordPress platform. Now, from here, let's go back up to My Sites. And let's talk about the creation of a site within our WordPress platform. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard of the 5-minute WordPress install, or even using some application installers like Softaculous out there in the marketplace. This makes it a lot simpler and a lot more streamlined to launch a WordPress installation via our Managed WordPress portal. First and foremost, we are not going to be pulling your WordPress installation into our Managed WordPress portal. We're going to be pushing it. So in order to push an installation into our environment, there needs to be a placeholder waiting for your migration to land, right? So the first step that you're going to take is create a fresh install of WordPress. We're only going to ask you for 2 pieces of information to do that. That's going to be the site nickname. This is also going to be the first administrator of the site, right? So we'll go ahead and pick user. And then the email address for where you want the WP admin credentials to go. So I'll go ahead and select my own email. And then this from a stencils menu, this is tied to your stencils menu here. So any stencils that you have within this menu will show up under the drop down. So you have the ability of selecting a template, and what that'll do is that'll install the theme, all the plugins, general content, so you can get right to the creation of a WordPress install. But since this is a demo, I'm just going to install a fresh install, like if we were either going to do a migration or if you were going to start the development process of a new WordPress installation. So let's go ahead and add our first site. Once we click Add Site, then the true power of the platform kicks in. At this point, the platform is installing the latest version of WordPress. It's partitioning out the resources for that WordPress installation to work. It's also gelling off those resources to ensure that there's no noisy neighbor effect and you have full performance of your WordPress installation. We're also going to set up for you a staging environment where you'll be able to copy your live site over to make any changes or maintain it, or process any maintenance changes. Maybe you want to test out a new theme or a plugin. You'll be able to do so without necessarily affecting any of the processes that are happening on your production site. And last but not least, or actually not last but not least, we're also going to set up your backups to an offsite SAN and then provide you with an SSL certificate for your site as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Google has made it a very strict rule that all sites need to be SSL certified in order for them to index them and start sending traffic to those sites. So what we've done as an organization, instead of making it a burden on you to have to worry about how you're going to get an SSL certificate, we automatically apply SSL certificates to every single WordPress installation that is installed within our portal. Okay, so as you can see here, the site has already been installed. The first thing I want to show you is that it's already SSL certified, so that's already been taken care of. Once you're ready to set your domain name within the environment here within our portal, then we'll transfer that SSL certificate to the new domain name when that happens, right? Now, if you're starting the development process, you're ready to go, right? You have your fresh set of your fresh WordPress install. You have direct access to your WP admin through this link here, but you also have some additional management tools through the Manage My Site section. So let's go ahead and click into that. Now here you'll see all of the system administration functionality for your site, okay? Now, like I said, if you were starting the development process, all the information you need is right here, right in front of you, even your SFTP and SSH credentials. But what if you were doing a migration, right? What would you do at that point? Well, if you were doing a migration, the first item that you would need to select is what PHP version you wanted to go with. Here at Liquid Web, through our Managed WordPress portal, we give you the option of downgraded down to PHP PHP 5.6 because we know that a large portion of WordPress installations are still running on legacy PHP versions. So to make the migration process go a lot smoother, it is recommended that you downgrade to PHP 5.6 if you are running that version of PHP. It's very easy to do. All you do is click on the button and then click change PHP version, and then our automated system will go ahead and update your site for you. After you've selected what PHP version you want to go with, then at that point, the rest of the magic or the rest of the process happens within the WordPress installation that you're looking to migrate into our platform. So what you'll do is you'll go into that WordPress install. So I'll go into my own WordPress installation here just to give you an example of what that looks like. There we go. And then once we're here, we'll go ahead and log in. Nope, give me 1 second. Obviously, I don't know my own password. There we go. Now, once you're logged into your WordPress installation, from here, all you have to do is go into plugins and go into add new. Once you go into add new, what you're going to do is you're just going to search for the Liquid Web plugin. Once you find the plugin, all you have to do is activate it and install it, and it'll give you this additional menu item here where it says Liquid Web Migrate. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you for 5 pieces of information in order for us to migrate your site from wherever you have it currently hosted into our Managed WordPress platform. So the 5 pieces of information that you need for these fields here, you're going to grab right from our Managed WordPress platform under the Live Site button. So you'll grab the domain name, right? You'll grab the domain name, and you'll grab all of the SFTP credentials in order to process the migration. Now, this is a very key item of the migration process and something that is very important. When you hit the Generate New Password button here, and hit OK, our system's going to go ahead and generate the credentials for both your SFTP and your SSH access. We're only going to show this information to you one time, so make sure you write down all this information in a safe place so you have access to it when you need it in the future. For any reason, if you forget these logins, next time you jump into our Managed WordPress dashboard and click under the Manage Site button and you get back into this section, you'll have that blue button again that'll ask you to regenerate that password, right? So you'll copy this information, you'll drop it into these placeholders here, and you'll click Migrate. At that point, our system will do a check to see if there's any malware on your site, and if we do find any malware, at that point we're going to go ahead and notify you via support ticket and start working with you to get your site cleaned up. And if we don't find any malware, then we'll go ahead and continue with the migration process of moving all of your users, your theme, your content, basically your entire WordPress installation, and drop it in the placeholder that you set up. Now, the only thing the migration plugin is not going to do, it is not going to switch your DNS. So it's going to leave this temporary URL here so you can test, make sure everything works properly, and then set your domain name once you've done that, okay? Now, to set your domain name after you've tested and make sure everything works properly, it's a very easy process to do. All you do is go to wherever your domain name is registered and you point the A record to this IP address here. Once you point the IP address to this, or once you point the A record to this IP address, then you jump back within our dashboard and you go ahead and update your primary domain name here and click Update. At that point, our system is going to do a find and replace within all the databases and WordPress file links in order to make sure that your WordPress installation is working properly, and now your site is live within our Managed WordPress platform, okay? So that's how easy it is to get a site into our platform and migrate it over and then switch the DNS. But once you have your site on here and it's live, what management tools do you have access to, right? Well, first and foremost, you have direct access to PHPMyAdmin, so anything you need to do around the databases, any queries that you have to do, anything at all, you have access to my PHPMyAdmin, so you can go ahead and handle anything you need to do around your databases, okay? You also have direct access to, the different functionalities within the WP admin screen. We recommend that you right-click and open in a new window, or else you'll replace your hosting portal with your WordPress dashboard window, okay? Moving on from there, you have direct access or downloadable access to your access and your error logs. Now, these error and access logs are very important to you. Of course, this is how you or your development team is going to do any forensic investigation on why people are trying to access your site, right? Or why you might be experiencing errors. So those things are available to you all the time whenever you log in through the Managed WordPress portal. Moving on from the access logs, you also have, or we also have, the ability of setting up your updates for your core CMS and your plugin updates. So the way that our core CMS updates work is that whenever a major release is rolled out, we're going to beta test it, make sure it's stable, and then we're going to roll it out in a phased environment. We're going to notify you via email to make you aware of when your particular site is going to be upgraded. What that does is it gives you the ability to come into the portal in case you're in the middle of a development cycle and pause the automatic updates for up to 60 days, right? So this will give you the ability to finish your development track, get everything going properly, and at that point either you can unpause it yourself or our system will automatically unpause it after 60 days and process that core CMS update, right? Now, when we're talking about plugins and security, having outdated plugins is it's a very vulnerable thing to do to expose your site to possible malicious attacks. So it's very important for you to keep your plugins up to date at all time. What we've done within our Managed WordPress portal is we've incorporated automatic plugins into our portal to assist our customers in making sure that their sites stay up to date and stay secure. Now, this is on a site-by-site basis, so you do have the ability of turning this on and off on a site-by-site basis depending on how you would like to manage those updates. But if you do decide to turn on the automatic plugin updates, what we do is we are going to check your site every night to see if there's any updates that are available through the WordPress.org repository. If there are plugins available through the WordPress.org repository, what we're going to do at that point is we're going to take a clone of your WordPress installation and we're going to move it to a Liquid Web staging server. There, we're going to take pictures of your templated WordPress pages. We're going to roll the update and then take after pictures. We're then going to compare those pictures visually with an automated system to see if there's any pixelation changes. If we find any pixelation changes, at that point, we're going to roll back the update within our staging environment, send you an email address with the exact error line items that errored out, and move on to the next possible plugin update that we could update on that staging site. Now, if there are no visual discrepancies, so if the update happened properly, then at that point what we do is that we push that staging update to your live production site, and then we send you an email notification making you aware that that plugin was updated without any issue. So that's the way that our plugin updates work. So I hope that you see the benefit in that and take advantage of turning that on all the sites that you add to our Managed WordPress platform. Now, moving on from automatic plugin updates, you have some organizational and some setup tools that we've provided you within our platform. First and foremost, you have tags. When you have 15, 20 WordPress installations within our Managed WordPress platform, it could get really tedious within the main menu screen here to kind of scroll up and down and search for your site. So what we've done is we've added the tags attribute, and then you'll be able to search for those tags through this search box here, and it'll bring up only those sites that are associated with those tags. Moving on from tags, so hopefully that that was pretty clear and self-explanatory, is stencils. Now, stencils is a very, very powerful tool. In the WordPress community, WordPress developers and designers kind of get used to working with a certain set of plugins and a theme that they manipulate on a regular basis for the different sites that they're standing up for their customers or for themselves, right? So what we've done is we've created this stencils attribute. What this does is this allows you to set up a WordPress installation with all of the plugins, the theme, and maybe some general content that you've decided that you are going to have on a site-by-site basis. And then it basically allows you to skip the setup process. So you just go ahead and name it base install, right? And then you add it to your stencils. From here, it's going to be added to the stencils menu here. Once it's added to the stencils menu, then you'll have the ability to create a site right from that stencil. So if I decided to create a site right from this Woo Test stencil, I just have to hit the create site from stencil. Then all I have to do is name it with my site nickname and my email address. And then when I click create site, it is going to go ahead and download all of the plugins, the theme, the pictures, all the general content that I set, so I can either get to manipulating a couple things on the site to make it live, or right to manipulating the DNS to make the site live at that point. So it's basically a way of making your setup process a lot more efficient. So make sure you take advantage of stencils. Moving on from stencils is our low-level access to the dedicated VPS server environment that you get access to when you go with our Managed WordPress portal. This is a huge differentiating factor between us and our competitors, and this is because most of our competitors only provide you with SFTP access for you to do file transfer protocol. We also give you SSH access or bash or shell access in case you enjoy working within command line and things of that nature. We've also added WP-CLI and Git into the VPSs, so you can take advantage of those commands if that makes it easier for you to work within your environment. Now again, I want to stress the fact that once you generate your password the first time, we're not going to show it to you again, and if you need to regenerate your password, that's what this blue button is here to do. So if you've lost it and you need to regenerate them again, go ahead and click the generate password button again, and then our system will go ahead and generate you a new set of username and passwords for both your SFTP and SSH user access. Moving on from here, we have our password protection. Now, what this does is this gives you an additional security layer to your WordPress installations when it comes to accessing the site. Once you hit update policy, our system will give you one set of username and passwords for you to use across the users of the site. What will happen is whenever somebody goes to the URL, so whenever somebody clicks on this URL, they're going to first get a pop-up box asking them to use those login credentials before they get access to the site. This is even the back end of the WP admin screen. So just make sure you're aware that if you add the password protection that you have to share those credentials with any of the users. And then last but not least is varnish caching. Varnish caching is a reverse proxy system that provides additional performance by loading some of your website's contents across our proxy servers. If you'd like to use this particular aspect of our service, it's a very simple process to do. All you have to do is toggle this little switch on, hit confirm, and then our automated system will go ahead and enable it for you and get it up and running so you can start experiencing the performance benefits that Varnish provides you. Okay, so that's in a nutshell everything that you can do within your live site. But in addition to your live site, you also get a staging environment. So if you wanted to test out a new page, if you're adding another product page, if you just wanted to test out a new theme or plugin, this would be the perfect place for you to do that without affecting anything that's going on within your live site. So all you have to do, in order to move a site from live to staging, all you have to do is click this little button here that says copy live site to staging. Once you click that button, our system is going to go ahead and take a clone of your live site and move it into the staging environment. Now, one thing that you did not see me do is take a backup, which we should have done first. But before you move your site into staging, you want to come into backups here, and then go ahead and create a manual backup before you click staging. Now, since we're in backups, I'll review this quickly while your staging environment is being set up. Now, backups are done every night for you automatically. So as soon as you launch that WordPress install, we'll set up your nightly backups. And we're gonna take a full backup every night for 30 days and hold that on a 30-day rolling backup calendar, right? So that's how backups work. These are full backups of the full file structure of WordPress and a dump of your database. And you also get a one-click restore option for all the backups that you have within our system. It looks like your staging environment has finished, so let's go back to the staging environment. Now, as you can tell, the staging environment looks kind of identical to the live site environment with a few exceptions, right? Within staging, there's a few things that you cannot do in staging that you can do in live site. For example, in staging, you don't have the ability of manipulating your staging domain. It's something that we're currently working on to give you access to, but at this time, we do provide you with a staging link, and that staging link cannot be changed. From there, you don't have the ability to set up your automatic plugin updates. This wasn't added to the staging environment because you're actively in staging. Of course, you're trying and testing different plugins, so our engineering team didn't feel that it was necessary to add that to this particular menu. And then last but not least is you don't have the ability to set a staging environment into a stencil or setting tags up for your staging sites, obviously because they live within your live site, so they would be no purpose. But that's how staging works. Now, you might have the question, what happens after I'm done with my changes or my updates within staging? How do I get those back up to the live site? Well, currently, there's a couple different ways of doing that. Option number one, you could take advantage of our migration plugin and move your site from staging to live using the plugin. Now, this plugin totally replaces the WordPress install, so this is only recommended whenever it's a static site or you're not doing any active data collection within your live site. Option number two is to submit a support ticket to our Managed WordPress support team via the Let Us Help You menu. You just click on Email Us, and then you change the subject line to Migration Request, and then our support team will move your staging site to the live environment within 24 to 48 hours, okay? And then the final way is the traditional way that you're probably very used to, which is mimicking any of the changes that you did in staging in your live site manually. And that's another way that you would possibly be able to move those changes from staging to live. Okay, so that pretty much reviews these three menu items here. The last menu item is the visual comparison. Whenever we do any plugin updates to your site and we take those before and after pictures, those will be downloaded here to the visual comparison menu. And you'll be able to compare the before and after so you can see any changes that you might need to make. So moving on from a live site back to the main menu, that pretty much covers everything that you can do within our system administration Managed WordPress portal. Now, in addition to the Managed WordPress portal, all of our Managed WordPress customers also get access to iThemeSync Pro. Now, iThemeSync Pro is what I call a holistic management portal. It allows you to manage every single aspect of your WordPress installation right from this particular dashboard here. So it is a color-coordinated dashboard. As you can see, I have quite a few sites associated with it. Color-coordinated works it's very easy to understand. So yellow means that there are updates available and there's some work that you need to do within that particular installation. Green means everything's good to go. Uptime's good to go, and you don't have anything to worry about here. If you see red, that means that this site has lost connectivity with our iThemeSync dashboard. The reason why you see some red here is because I've created some sites that I've deleted but did not come into our iThemeSync dashboard and delete them from here. But like I mentioned, this is a holistic management portal where you'll be able to do a lot of different maintenance updates all through a large variety of sites all at the same time. So here you have the ability to update all your sites all at the same time. So it'll give you the plugin or the theme associated and then all of the sites that it is linked to, so you can go ahead and update those. Installing is also a very important thing within WordPress because you're always installing additional plugins. So what the iThemeSync platform gives you the ability to do is it gives you the ability to install across all of your different WordPress installations at the same time. So you can either do that from iThemeSync, WordPress.org, or you can upload your own plugin or theme zip file. Here's another very important differentiating factor between us and a lot of our Managed WordPress competitors. We have no restrictions on what plugins or themes you use within our Managed WordPress portal. Many of our competitors do. So make sure that you are aware of any limitations that you might have elsewhere, and then feel good about the fact that you will not have any of those limitations here at Liquid Web, because we allow you to use any plugin or theme that you might need with your WordPress install. Now moving on from install, we have uptime. So uptime is exactly what it says. It provides you the uptime for your particular WordPress installation. So it'll give you, everything you need to know about the uptime and historicals around your WordPress installation. Now, if you don't have 100% uptime and you think that that's a network-related issue, then what you can do at that point is you can submit a support ticket through the Let Us Help You menu here, and let us know that you've had some additional downtime. What will happen then is our Managed WordPress support team will review it. If they realize that it is a network outage and that's the reason why you experience downtime, you will be provided with a credit for 10 times of the amount of time that you were down. So just make sure you keep track of your WordPress installation's uptime, okay? Moving from uptime, you have reporting. Now, reporting is an awesome tool for digital agencies, freelancers, anybody managing WordPress installations. And the reason why is because we know that providing your customers with detailed maintenance reporting makes them a lot more sticky. So you'll have a 60% better chance to keep them longer than 24 months if you're sending them reports on a monthly basis. Now, these reports are completely personalized, so you can go ahead and white label them with all of your company information, upload your own company logo, and you can even change the color scheme of these emails to go with your branding to make sure that everything is kosher and looking properly, right? You also get the ability of pre-scheduling your reports. So you can create a report schedule for all your sites at the same time in any interval that you like, for any length of time. And then here are the different maintenance tracks that you can run, but this gives you kind of an overview of everything that the iThemeSync reporting structure will be able to provide you. A site summary of all of the different items, all of the different plugins, the themes, the version of the core. If you have Backup Buddy, it'll give you a complete list of everything going on with Backup Buddy. Security. Now, all of the WordPress installations that get installed within our Managed WordPress platform get a web application firewall to go with it that protects you against all the common threats out in the internet. If you add a plugin like iThemeSync security to your WordPress install, then that plugin will loop into the reporting structure here, and then you'll report out all of these different security attempts that people might do, so you can show your end user or yourself, all of the different security protection items that are happening within your WordPress installation. Moving on from security, you have site stats. Make sure you have a Google Analytics or a Yoast SEO plugin within your WordPress installation so it can loop into the reporting. Then you have post details, licensing, Google Analytics, search engine console, and your database optimization information. So you'll have a very detailed report that you can send out to your end users. Here's what the HTML version of that report looks like. So it gives you all of those overviews, right? And then it also gives you the additional details of everything that was done within the WordPress installation, including traffic and Search Console information. And that, in a nutshell, pretty much reviews everything that you can do within our Managed WordPress portal and our iThemeSync integration. I hope you found this demo useful. If you have any questions, please contact Liquid Web, and have a wonderful afternoon.